government. I could imagine how we all are feeling. I'm feeling good in spite of other things. I'm feeling good because we have defied all the odds, all the naysayers, and we have come home. Remember, I always said to you, when you reflect on some over almost 60, almost 70 years of elections since going back since adult suffrage in 1952. We've had several elections, we had several governments, and we never had a one-term government. And this history the empirical data has proved me right. And it's been nigh 3 weeks, 3 weeks since we connected on this forum called Straight Talk. And trust me, my family, I missed you. And I'm so happy to join you once again. Important matters to which our federal elections took precedence over my presence here on Street Talk. And lots of things have happened. Lots of things will continue to happen. And as the days progress, as the weeks progress, we will at least provide you with much more information. And I want to speak in particular tonight because I want to thank all those who continue to call me and provide their moral and other support. And I want to say in particular to those people in East Basseterre, in constituency number 1, I want to say to you, just like you, I was born in East Basseterre. I'm a Newtown boy through and through, all the way through. I grew up in my grandmother's house with cousins, and I slept in the same bed with brothers. At 6 years old, my mother left, and I did not meet my father until I was about 11 or 12 years old. So just like you as well, I attended public schools. And what they call us back then in school, I'm a bastard. And I always thank our first Prime Minister, Sir Kennedy Simmons, who repealed the Bastardsy Act. Because, in other words, when you look at my my birth certificate, if I show you my birth certificate, you'll see my mother's name as Bronte Adela Liburd. And on the father, you will see a dash. Not the taximan. Dash was the taximan. You will see a dash. So I don't have a father if you look at my birth certificate. And I say that because I was a bastard. I was not raised with a silver spoon in my mouth, and nothing was given to me on a silver platter either. You know me, and I'm just like you. I have worked hard for what I achieved, and it never came easy, just like you. You know me. At 18 years old, I excelled in school, but without the backing of family funds, I had to work hard and save to at least complete my education. And I became gainfully employed. I will always remember my first stint as an employee, beg your pardon, was at the General Post Office as a clerk, way back then. You know me, I know you. We worked hard together. At 32, I was finally able to secure my education in the United Kingdom. And after doing some postgraduate studies and worked and hard work, years of hard work and determination, I returned home to St. Kitts, even after being offered employment and residency abroad. I'm a Newtown boy, just like you. You know me, and I know you. Several years after working in the private sector, I purchased the home that I currently reside in Bird Rock. In Bird Rock, I said, not in the hills, or not in the mountains, or not in a private gated community. I'm your neighbor. You know where I live. You know me. I know you. At 47, I returned to the United Kingdom to obtain my master's degree in business administration, the MBA. I wanted more from myself, my children, my community, And I wanted to help those of you like me in St. Kitts. So I returned home once again and back to the workforce just like you. I worked in the port at Casper, the St. Christopher and Air and Seaports Authority, then in Maritime Affairs, and then became permanent secretary for near 9 or 10 years. I was given an opportunity to obtain my PhD, but instead I sought a change in politics. Just like you, it was not the time. You needed me, and I needed you. In 2013, I sought to improve what I saw was wrong in politics here in St. Kitts. Just like you, I saw you, I wanted change too. Since that first day being elected, I have not stopped working for you. You know me, and I know you. And regardless what the outcome of these elections hold for me, or the past elections, the federal elections hold for me and you, I will not stop working and fighting for you. As I was born in East Bastia, I never gave up on East Bastia. I never left you, East Bastia. I never turned my back on East Bastia, and I will always be a Newtown boy through and through. They tried to take away my seat, but I will stand for you. They tried to take away my voice, but I will shout for you. And my Stray Dog family, the opportunity to serve the constituents of East Bastia, and by the extension by extension the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I will continue to serve and work hard. The results of the federal elections that were held on Friday, 5th June, were announced by the supervisor of elections, and many of us heard them, and some of us never liked what we heard in terms of those elections. How many of us remember this?
And Patches Live.
We remember this, my Stray Dog family.
The busy.
Oh, what's this?
Of the 6,002 persons voting in, well, allocated to constituency of St. Christopher 1, candidate Dr. Jeffrey Hanley of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party received 1,658 votes, 1658. Ian Patches Liburd of the People's Action Movement received 1,634 votes. There were 6 spoiled ballots. There were 98 rejected ballots for a total of 3,380 votes cast. Therefore, the member elected for the constituency of St. Christopher 1 is Dr. Jeffrey Hanley of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party.
Imagine that. Have you heard it, my Stray Dog family? Hear this again.
Of the 6,002 persons voting in, well, allocated to constituency of St. Christopher 1, candidate Dr. Jeffrey Hanley of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party received 1,658 votes, 1658. Ian Patches Liburd of the People's Action Movement received 1,634 votes. There were 6 spoiled ballots. There were 98 rejected ballots for a total of 3,380 votes cast.
98 rejected ballots. That's what the supervisor reported. My Stray Dog family, a number of irregularities during the counting of the ballots have been brought to my attention. And for that reason, I decided to challenge the results for St. Christopher 1 in a court of law. Accordingly, I have, and my solicitors have already proceeded with the necessary High Court action to challenge the results of this undue return. Many things have been said about it, like this, my Stray Dog family.
There were 96 spoiled votes in our constituency. 96 spoiled votes in any constituency is high. It was the highest number of spoiled votes in any of the constituencies in St. Kitts and Nevis. The reality of their situation was that on average, either 1 or less than 1% of the votes in every constituency were spoiled. In his case, 3% of the votes in that constituency were spoiled. It's a 610% increase on last election.
Imagine that. But my straight talk family, time will tell. For those of my constituents, some of you who have brought tears, it has brought tears to your eyes. Tears to your eyes, my straight talk family. But remember, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And I want to thank you in the meanwhile, but I want to also say to you, I will not stop working for you. I'm going to open the lines because I have not heard from you for a long time. You have not heard from me as well. You'll hear much more from me, my Straight Dog family, because I can assure you, I will continue working hard for you. I will work hard as I have done in the past. No matter what the circumstances, I will work hard for you. I'm going to open the lines, my Straight Dog family. You may, I'm certain you will want to congratulate your Team Unity administration for returning to office. I'm sure you will have your views on the elections that were just concluded. And you will have your say tonight, so I won't tarry much longer, except to implore you that when I open the lines, I anticipate that you will respect others, and of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Make sure that the things you say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And let's ensure that in all we do and say, my Straight Dog family, let us strive to build a stronger, safer future. Let us try to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I go to the lines at 25 past the 8 o'clock hour. I say, good night, caller. You are live.
Okay, good night.
Good night, my dear. You have your radio
Hello?
on. Yes.
All right. Turn down the radio in there for me. Turn it down. Good evening, Dr. Ian Catches Liburd.
How would I never anticipated you'll be the opening batsman.
I was waiting for this since before Friday.
Good evening, my dear brother. How about that?
Yeah, because...
Are you still in the volcano?
Oh, yes, man. Oh, yeah, man. Had to jump out the volcano, come down here Friday evening.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I know I didn't like to hear what I was hearing.
Uh-huh.
Because, it is always said that St. Kitts Nevis has 98% literacy.
Literacy, right.
Well, I think the last word, literacy, it need to be said, illiteracy.
Well, it has a percentage of hypocrisy as well.
Yeah, you said it. According to the Prime Minister,
Okay.
Listen, I don't understand how this counting going on. Let me say this here. Congratulations to you, the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Mark Brantley, and the Deputy Premier for Nevis, and the whole Team Unity government. Everybody. Special congratulations to Alexis Jeffers and Eric Evelyn. And special congratulations to Janelle Powell. And big world global congratulations to the woman who knocked out a man. Normally man does bang woman, but woman bang man this time. Akila Boywan, Lady Akila Boywan. Thank God for Akila. She did her work. Everybody did their work. But, as you say, cheating must be in it. Anyway, you got mortal man taking part in any organization, sport or competition or whatever it is. Now, these people think that we are foolish. You can come out with such, what they call a rejected or spoiled ballot. 98, look, that 98 there. No number ever rise so high as spoiled ballots in any Caribbean country when they in the voting. How they could jump from from zero to up there. When they look at the performance of the person, which is you, oh my goodness, you for me. Even the fishes in the sea, when they jump high, they could see the performance on land. And they're going to say that you lost? You? Patty E and Patty Liburd? Come on, people. Well, what I understand took place around the polling station, them up in number 1. Mr. Brocknose, the man who liked to Brocknose, he was giving out Elizabeth Lewis to the people them who are in the line voting. And when I say Elizabeth Lewis, big value, high value of Elizabeth Lewis. You know Elizabeth Lewis? Queen Elizabeth and Arthur Lewis on the other side. That's the $100 bill. Thousands of them were given out in the line to bribe people to vote for Jeffrey Hanley. And that has to stop. That kind of thing has to stop. When it comes to voting, nobody has any right to go and bribe. Nobody will give them nothing, no script, no nothing.
Okay.
And I'm calling on whosoever in the electoral system, what you all never did, get up off your bottom and go do all your work. Clean up the electoral system.
Okay.
That's where the problem comes in, Patrice. Clean it up. Okay. I'll come back if I get a chance.
It's got you loud and clear, my
brother.
brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. I don't want to tell us it's straight talk, so let's talk straight. Once you're speaking the truth, talk straight. And I'm going to guide you tonight as well, my straight dog family, and try to get in as many callers as possible. So I'm going to guide you by the rules of brevity. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Straight Talk.
How art thou?
Oh, man, it's a blessing to hear you. It's a blessing to hear you. I tell you, from the time that thing began, I said there's a monkey cross the track and the dog is trying to track him down. Because we all know something was wrong. But God is good. Understand? And I just want to tell you, see, you don't give up. You hold on. And you're going to get your victory. Whatever. But you hold on. Be strong. Stand up strong. Don't lose faith. I'll see you when I see you. I love you. God bless Team Unity. Have fun, comrades. See you when I see you.
See you when I see you, my dear brother. And yes, we all will be strong. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, Patrick.
Good evening, my dear brother. How about thou?
How are you today, brother?
I am peaceful, man. I'm peaceful.
Listen to me. First of all, you didn't lose the election. I knew they won. Something went wrong. That election is yours and you will win it, whether in the court or wherever. I cannot see Unity or St. Kitts Nevis functioning without you. There is no way you lost that election. They all wanted to get you. We had some kind of Al-Qaeda or something going on. You won that election. There's no logic. I don't see where you could have lost the election. I know that. You won that election. But let me say, without you and Dr. Harris, let me tell you, there's no unity, there's no thinking, they finish. But let me say in the meantime, until you come on board, Dr. Harris have brought a revolution to think it. You have brought a revolution to think it. Douglasism has been crushed like a cockroach. Douglasism has been crushed. You're one of the most decent, honest people. I'm passionate. You have to answer people. I call you to tell you things, and you probably don't want things to look crooked. You don't answer.
I always seem to lose this caller. Are you there, caller? Oh, my. Okay, I always seem to lose this caller for whatever reason. I lose. Are you there, caller? Okay. I always seem to lose this caller, but I trust and hope you'll get back in. But let's go back to the lines at 28 before 9 o'clock. Call you live.
Yes, good night, Cos.
Good night, my dear.
Yes. Congratulations to Unity, everybody. I ain't leaving out the name. I'm just saying congratulations to Unity. And Cos, let me ask you a question because I never worked in a polling station yet. But do you choose your people? Them it ain't supposed to have two for one party and two for the other.
Yes, you have your own what they call counting agents, and yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, okay, because I hear Mr. Child Grandfather saying that how only unity people was in the polls then. Okay, I don't know, you know where I was, but my children, they was down there. But he said only unity people was in the polls then. Another thing again, because I think you ain't have your eyes watch. You never watching. You understand? I don't think whoever had your back, they was doing something over you. They was doing something over you. But don't worry, because as you said, you always trust in God, and who for you is for you. And if God for you, no one else could be against you. You understand? So keep the faith. Keep on the faith. I hear Douglas saying that he going to check out. But he might check his own self out. But you keep the faith and continue. Just keep calm. You say you're going to contest it, okay? And have a good night.
Have a good night.
Until.
Have a good night as well, my dear, because we go straight back.
Yes.
Thanks you for your input. We go straight back to the lines at 26 before 9. Call your life.
Yes, good evening, Honorable Patches.
How are you?
Oh.
You have a radio on?
Yes, good evening,
you have a
Patches.
you have a radio on? You have a radio on.
Yes, okay. Good evening, Patches.
How are
Do you think that Labour was supposed to lose and I ain't supposed to lose? I supposed to win all the seats? There's a mighty God looking over everybody. So, if you lose, you accept it. Because we lose and we accepting it. We ain't making the noise. We ain't making the problem because the people said they wasn't voting for you in your town and other area. We lose. The King Cameras lose down here too. Because they had money down here giving out to people too. So everybody ain't the same. They ain't getting the money come in vote to kill her.
Can I ask you a question?
I vote for King Cameras.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
You know, Congress always lose when he comes up against a woman. He won.
No, they always lose.
Yes,
they don't get no money
no.
and a lot of rentals they had down here. And the young people, that's what they want.
Okay,
so they vote. A lot of my family, they vote too.
Okay,
but me ain't voting for. I'm voting for King Conway.
Okay, my dear.
Because when I used to go Honorable Neville and Douglas, the whole Byron family of them used to up there. That's when they were voting for them.
Okay, my dear.
Yes.
Thanks for your input.
Have a good night and tell me some Japan. I thought come go up for him and I can't see him. I have a blessed night and I got my husband win his seat because I didn't want to win it. Thank God. See you. Love you.
That's my good Labour friend. I will tell her, right? And you know, truth be told, my straight dog family, reflect a bit. I always said this to King Conyers. He said he's won 4 Calypso crowns, but in fact, it should be 2 because he lost to what this lady is. He lost to Jackie one year, and he lost to I forgot her name. But every time he comes up against a woman, he has trouble. So I was not surprised that Akila would beat him. Caller, you live.
He has trouble. So I was not surprised that Akila would beat him. Caller, you live.
Hello, caller.
Jason.
Yeah, just turn your radio down, please, could you?
It's off. It's off.
Thank you very much, man.
The next person he was against is Anastasia.
Anastasia, yes. Good, thanks for that, Anastasia.
Yeah, Anastasia.
He don't like women.
Go ahead, speak. Go ahead.
I said he can't stand competition with a woman.
Okay, great. That's a fact. Anyhow, Patches, me going to get straight to the point because I'm hearing words on the street, and maybe you might be able to assist me from persons who was in the polling station on your behalf. I'm hearing words on the street that the Spanish community who voted for you, probably where they came from, the custom of making whether a tick are just a little something indicating that they intend to vote for this particular person. Can you confirm whether or not did you heard anything of that nature? Because in my simple opinion, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not very good in politics, I'll just bang my mouth. But if someone make a tick in a box, they make an actual X, they make a tick. In my simple opinion, I firmly believe that they are indicating that they are voting for this person. And the other thing I want to say is, isn't that something of what we call the Westminster's pattern, whereby you can make a tick, you can make a little O, you can make a little dot, whatever it is, indicating that I am voting for Peter or for Paul. I listen off here to hear your comment. Thanks. Indicating that I am voting.
Thank you very much. Well, it's not about Westminster. It's really a case precedent, I think it's called. We recall the Simmons versus Ribeiro case in 1979. So it's all about the intent of the voter. The law speaks to an X, but you can interpret the law. There's a letter to the law and there's a spirit to the law. And the spirit speaks to the intent of the voter. If that answers your question, caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Good night to the Honorable and Patches Liburd. Good night.
Mr. Politics, good night. And how art thou?
Not too bad. I am here listening you, and I was wondering if you're going to come tonight. But anyway, God is still on the throne, and he will remember his own. He promised that he will never to leave us alone. No, never alone. No, never alone. You know, Patches, God is still on the throne. You understand? And wrong could never be right. And that is what these people in the opposition preaching. You understand? Patches, anyway, I want to commend the Dr. Timothy Harris once more again succeed with a unity government in this COVID-19 election. I believe that he and the cabinet has done well. But let me turn on the radio. He and the cabinet has done well. Yeah. Patches, yeah. I believe that he has done well for the ordinary man and woman in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis under the COVID. And the package and everything that he put in place was very timely. And the young men and women in this country, you understand, who politically used to be blind, especially some of them parents, grandparents, teach them the way to go Pam. I mean, labor, Mr. Batcha, Mr. France. I'm glad this country has done away with these things, and the young people them see light. Patches. Because it was just hurting people that really want to live up to a standard life. And people who to get something in life, you're going to go vote for political party just because. And Mr. Bracha and Mr. France. And I'm glad that the young people of this Federation of St. Kitts see the light. And nothing like that taking place anymore now. Are the only construct come in place? And they're doing what they're doing for the ordinary man. And I'm glad that the people went to the poll in this virtual campaign because COVID-19, you understand? There was one body to open and all these kind of things, the opposition. I do not know in any heart of any leader, opposition leader, to see what's going on in other nation, other country with this COVID. Taking out people, affected people, and doing all kind of things to people. So much of people dead, people got to bury, burn, and all these things. People don't even get a chance to go to their family funeral, their loved one funeral. And Dr. Harris and the Team Unity government has managed this thing so good. But don't you think that anybody could have gone against this Team Unity? I vote against this Team Unity government. Any party before go, I want to commend the Honorable Akila Byron. I want to commend the Honorable Janelle Powell, newcomer. You understand? I believe that's work hard. Akila Byron was work hard. She went to every house in she constituency. I hear a lady calling, I think today, and talk about she not here. And she had the plan of water and all these things. But I myself meet Akila and tell Akila, go to the lady home. And Akila tell me she reach to the lady home, and anytime she goes, she in home. And I just want, parties, that Akila took walk the constituency, all of you, because I know you're going to win your seat. All of you who elected took walk the constituency, listen to the ordinary man and woman cry even once a month, twice a month,
okay,
and listen to the ordinary man and woman cry in your constituency. And only so unity will reign forever and forever and forever. Because this is one federation, but you have a wonderful night, God bless. So somebody's got a chance.
Have a wonderful night as well, my dear brother. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, could you turn your equipment or your radio down, please?
No problem.
Yeah, please do it now. Please do it now.
Good night, Patches.
Good night, my dear.
This is the first time I am calling you live.
First time? I hope
yes.
I hope it won't be
the
your
first
last
time I am calling you live.
I hope it won't be.
I want to congratulate you and you and the entire Team Unity on a job well done.
Very much.
And I know you're going to make us proud coming from the Jones clan. Deslin and the Jones clan.
Okay. Yeah, my good people. My good people.
That's right. Yes. Warriors from the East. Yes. And we will go down fighting. Because I know you won your seat. We have to win this victory. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
Okay.
Good
night.
Good night, my dear. Yes, about 14 in that house. Oh, that's important. Caller, your life. Hello.
That's
my dear.
Good night. This is Dumpling.
Dumpling, Lilia Manners, right?
That's right. Patches, I know you win your seat. You understand? And do not fret up yourself with anybody. When the time comes for the case, you God with you because you're a godly man. They're saying all kind of things. All kind of things the same about you. But don't take them on. They was to give us 10-1. They were saying that give us 10-1. They're going to win the 3 Nevis and win all down here. But that's when she do, when the lady do, she knows she wrong. How you going to get so much false voting paper? But let me tell you, Patrice, call this number because I have something to tell you. 668. You got your pen?
Yes, I got it.
668 3567. Okay. Because who you think is your friend ain't your friend. And call me when you come off. I'm going to sit up in my bed for you.
Okay, my dear.
You hear? Okay, good night.
Thank you very much, my dear dumpling friend.
Okay.
Caller. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Yes, you got your equipment or your radio on.
I don't lock it off.
Okay, that's my warrior from the east.
Oh, yes. That's it. This is Miss Unity, the same dumpling just call and she sound just like me for real.
I know it's Jackie. Yes, Jackie.
She sound like me. That's it. You know, if you're the Prime Minister the day after, you know.
I know that, yes.
You know, all of them who are ready every day, it was you and the Prime Minister and Mr. Grant. Okay? So, I want to congratulate you and the whole team. Unity. Who for you? for you and who against you that can be for you. A lot of them set out on the radio to destroy her, you know, and I don't tell them, I tell them on the radio. What are you doing? Are you doing more harm to the Labour Party than what good? Because people can't trust you. All of them parties I know it's not this in army life. All of them set out to bring down the government, and look at that. All of them is losers. I hope the call I and congratulate you.
Okay.
I am Mr. One Good Term for a while, but thank him. He leave us with something to campaign with. One good term deserves it. So good night, Mr. Adams. I hope you're okay. That's it. I want to congratulate especially John L. Powell, Mr. Powell, Lico Marcella, and the girl over the village. The last election, you know, they said John L. lose. John L. never lose the election, and now they say you lose. That is how you lose. When them votes count, I hope that you come in. Because I know I will without me. And I beg all my family, the minis, last year, all the men, I them tell I look out and vote. Because in the election, there's next show, and one another say, look, but for me, not you, for me, any figure, I any trouble call me. And they call me, I say, look, you go vote, and make sure you vote for parties. You understand? So what I do when I send along with them, because when they vote them call, if you lose, but at least team unity will stay from the government. So you don't have to worry about them. Because all of them who they and the way they're campaigning for them, they make them look smart. How the hell 2015 you won't come and say, this man is so bad. And now you're going to come back 2020 and saying he's so good, he's the best thing to run the country. Eh? How the hell are they going to trust you? Eh? You're confusing and misleading people. You call them misleaders, willful misleaders, parties. But I want to tell you now, look out for your people, them, you know. You see, all of them, you put on them side, and most of them got something behind them. Look out for the smaller man, them, you hear?
Okay.
Because when you're going to say, our skin teeth and laugh, I see who up front with you. Especially Hamilton, Sam, Dwyer, who Ellen Burrow come on the last trip. All of them try to get up on the team unity government, but who for you? Can be against you, and when God is for you, no man could be against you. All of them sit out and say, all of them is losers right now. Patrick, you've been down to here, and I wish you all the luck. And this is Miss Unity. Mr. Prime Minister, good night, because Lord, I was more concerned about you, because I know the first person will come after you and your family. That is what they're planning for. So keep your head above water and show them look in. Yeah, like them. Patrick, you have a safe night and a safe journey, and I wish you all the luck. And this is Miss Unity, warrior from the East. Yes, don't watch the face and don't care.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you very much, my warrior from the East there in Santa Cruz. Yes, and yes, my good friend Terry gave us this theme
good evening to you, Patches, and good evening to your listeners, home and abroad. One good term deserves another, and like I said, one good term deserves another.
And that's what the people spoke. That's what the people voted for. Another good term. And that's what we anticipate from your team as the administration. What's happening with my lines here? Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah out there cleansing. God blessed evening, my beloved African brother. How are you? I know you're a strong man. I didn't have no doubt, my beloved brother, that you will be here tonight. The man I know will have been here tonight. And you are here, my beloved brother. All is well?
Peaceful, my brother, peaceful. What about yourself and your family?
Good, brother, good, man. The family is good, man. New York is coming, slowly but surely. 400,000 people returned today, first phase, so we all are good, brother. We all are good, And I know my beloved people in St. Kitts Nevis is good too. Brother, first let me, excuse me, congratulate, beloved brother, the voters, man, who vote for the Team Unity movement and the candidates under the banner of the Team Unity movement,
especially, let me repeat that, especially my beloved young people. Let me big them up. Brother, I love young people. I love elders too, no brother. I love elders too. But my concentration is on the youth, beloved brother. Brother, let me just sing love three warriors. Give them new names, beloved brother. Warrior Princess, Akila. Warrior Prince, Brother Janelle. And Warrior Prince, Brother Nimki. Brother, great job, man. Great job. And all, the veterans. Brother, let me tell you something. Brother, I know you're a man. You don't worry about certain things. Brother, they could run and hide. That seat will be yours, beloved brother. Did you just repeat, like you rightly said, what happened in 79 with the great Dr. Kennedy Simmons and Antonio Ribeiro, brother? And we see what happened, and that is the same result we're going to have with you and the misleader Jeffrey. Brother, so brother, I know you ain't fretting or anything like that, beloved brother. A loot continue, the struggle continues, and you must win that struggle. You must win that battle for us, beloved brother, and for your beloved people, your beloved country, beloved brother. And I know you love your people and you love your country, brother. And we're going to be there for you, beloved brother. And I always tell you, brother, you're like a blood brother to me, my beloved brother. And that is not words, beloved. You know I will stand with you. Come hell or high water, my beloved brother, because you're a good brother who love your people and love your country. So, brother, let me ask you a question if you can answer. Brother, that thing done, application done, submitted in the court?
No, it has not been. The works are in process, I could say. The works are with the legal advisors, and they are doing what is supposed to be done.
Okay, I hope it be expedited, man, and we get a quick decision. I know they're going to do all kind of things, but in the final analysis, beloved brother, you shall be victorious, and our people, the people, St. Kitts and Nevis, in that end will be victorious too, beloved brother. So, brother, I know tonight a lot of people want to speak. Yep. So, brother, if it's one African warrior, and I know I'm not the only one, warriors from the east, but I'm this warrior from the my beloved brother. Will I will stand with you. You're my brother for life, beloved brother. And I've said a mouthful. So, beloved brother, continue the great works. And we are here with you, brother. We have your back, like Brother Jadel said. I have your back everywhere you side, everywhere, my beloved brother. Brother, continue the great works. Pan-Africanism our perish. One love, my beloved brother.
One love, my dear brother, as well. And yes, I want to assure my people that regardless what this outcome holds for me and you, I will not stop working and fighting. As I was born in East Bastia, I never gave up on East Bastia. I never left you, East Bastia. I never turned my back on East Bastia. And I will always be a Newtown boy through and through. Yes, they tried to take my seat, but I will stand for you in East Bastia. They tried to take away my voice, but I will shout for you. At 4B49, caller, you alive.
A most pleasant good night to you.
Good night.
Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my dear. That sounds like a warrior from the east as well.
Yes, this is Pat in St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, yes. Sounds like I got the voice.
First, I must say thanks to God Almighty on behalf of Team Unity. I want to thank God for the wisdom of the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris and the Team Unity, and also the COVID-19 group that has put things together and had lead the Federation of Thinkers and Nevis into the right direction, that you all didn't had no cases like many places, and that the border was closed and you all had a fair election without anyone coming in and disturbing the people of the Federation and the Federation of Thinkers and Nevis with the voting. Secondly, I must say congratulations to Team Unity and their leader, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, for the wisdom and the knowledge that he used to lead this team. To you, Mr. Liburd, my constituency leader, I love everybody of the Federation of Thinkers and Nevis, whether they Labour or the PAM or Unity. They are my people. I born Newtown, raised St. Peters, but I am a Kittitian. And I want to say that the election is over with some obstacles still in the way. But I need the people of the Federation of Thinkers and Nevis to please let our good country please run decently. Let the government do what they have to do. And you all please respect each other. Mr. Liburd, in the word of God, he said, be still and know that I am God. He said, slow to speak and quick to listen. You do what you have to do, and I continue to pray for you all. Here in the Virgin Islands, I will not be there in person, but I continue to pray for you all. Continue to keep up the good work. Federation of Thinkers and Nevis, I love you all, and everybody know Patricia. My father was Busso the taxi man, and everybody know Busso was Labour, but I was PAM. And I don't vex with people for who they want to vote for. But when it comes to respect, I feel respect is due to each and every one. Mr. Liburd, I love you. I continue to pray for you all, and I continue to pray for the Federation of Thinkers and Nevis. Have no fear. Good night. God bless you.
God bless you as well, and just be sure that I love you more. Caller, you alive. Mr. Caller, you alive. Hello, caller.
Hey, good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my dear.
This is Diansha.
How are you, Diansha?
I'm wonderful. Mr. Liburd, I want you to know the warriors from the east is still with you. This is still our battle to fight. You understand me? Don't study them. Let them make the noise. We're still with you. Okay, Mr. Liburd, we got this. This is ours. This is victory will be ours, okay?
Yes,
so right now, just relax there and keep calm. We got this, okay?
Yes, I believe you. I very well believe you, coming from my youth. And I say a special night to the youth in East Basseterre.
We will not concede until we get victory, okay? So this is ours. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you, my lady D. Diansha. Have yourself a wonderful night. It's ours. We're not going to back. I call you live. Hello, caller.
Good night.
Yes, you have a radio equipment, something in the background there.
Okay.
Please. It's 2 minutes past 10 o'clock. Yes, caller.
Yes, my dear beloved brother. Good night.
My dear beloved sister, how art thou? Good night.
I am good, but I will be better when justice has been served. And I know you're a fighter, and you would fight for justice. This is a deliberate attempt to keep you out of Parliament and out of the government. But I am telling you tonight, have no fear. And you go in the court, and you face them head on. Because you have won your case fairly and surely fairly. You work hard for this country. You do your work. inside and outside. You look after your people in constituency 1. You look after the federation. You build projects. You do work that no other minister does do. And you beat them up. From the time when you see it, you look after them people. You wait till the election start to help them. You when you see it, they want to keep you out, but you're not going to keep out, so you're going to write it there. You're going to write in the government and you're going to write in parliament. No bother with them. The fight is a losing battle because we have already won it. You understand me? And I will keep praying for you. I will keep praying for you. Millions I pray. When me tell me happen, I pray, and pray some more. Even on the toilet, I pray for you. Because you're going to be there. Anyway, have a pleasant night.
Pleasant night.
Safe journey home. And all the best until the day trials.
Thank you very much, my dear sister. And remember, yes, I very well believe you because God answers prayer. At 9:04, we're reflecting on the elections gone by. And don't forget, as that caller before mentioned, the COVID-19 task force that kept us informed, kept us in line and advised us. And we have not seen a surge to date, as happened in Antigua and Barbuda, as happened in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we have kept our borders closed, I should say, to ensure that this is done. Another thing, we had no quote-unquote overseas voters, and the numbers, the voters came out. Yes, they exercised their franchise, and they did what they had to do. Caller, you alive? Hello, caller.
Yeah, Patches.
So,
what I want this team unity government to do now the people them give them a mandate, and the true conscious people who really get help from this unity government. Patches, a lot of people I see on the opposite side who working for government and working with different candidates, and the attitude of where they're going on, even down in social security, the attitude I see where they're going on, because I hear some of these people sabotaging and all the package, you know, for unity people to get, because they don't name them and the name them come in, they just revamp the name and let whoever get. You Patches? And I just want you all to look about that. Because Patches, there's a lot of square peg in the round hole. A lot of square peg in the round hole. And we all got to clean up in the second term. You all got to do some clean up. I don't move them to turn everybody because I know I want them to do their job. But people who in position and good position and want to sabotage this team unity government from function, who help the ordinary woman in this country where the people in the went to elect. You understand? They ain't supposed to be in a position suffering our ordinary man and woman in the country. You understand? It's just like some people calling on the radio. You got a lady calling consistently to the Prime Minister, which is problem. And the Prime Minister do what he got to do, assist the lady. And you know, she might go tell the labor people, them, you think I think no? You think I think no? You give me money, I get this, I get that, I get that, and I get the other. Eh? And I was on this side, I would not walk to this, and I would not walk to that. You understand? But we got to be careful with some people in the talk. Because some people just listen to people political garbage and just take it and just run with it. Okay. And we got to be careful. What is the government trying to help everybody? Everybody can get help at the same time. Okay. At least Patches.
Okay,
everybody can get help at the same time. Patches, say something?
I thought you were winding up, so I was trying to...
Okay, all right, man. Let somebody will get a chance, man. Everybody can get up at the same time, man. Good night again, Patches. Wonderful night.
How are you getting so... How are you getting... Tell us the trick. How are you getting so often now?
Well, I got digital and I got flow now.
Or you use two phones?
So I flick a card in, yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Okay, but
okay.
that's the secret. That's the secret. My straight up family. You use two phones. That's what Mr. Politics said. Call your life.
Yes, good night, Mr. Patches.
Good night, sir.
I believe it's something you wrong with you, right? I believe that you hang yourself. Because what happened?
Turn on your radio. Turn on your radio or something. I want the whole world to
Yeah.
hear. Yeah.
I believe, right? You're a great man, really. You do great work. But I believe that you hang yourself. You know why I'm telling you this now? You make the Prime Minister look good. You make Lindsey Graham look good with these work you're doing. But you ain't make Newton look good. That's the problem, you know. You promise Newton things. You promise Newton you're going to bring home Elimat. All that a fire back on you know in the patches. People are stupid, you know. You're doing great work. May say you're doing no great work, but you make other ministers look so good and left you one behind.
Okay.
That's my point.
Right.
For tonight, patches. You make yourself. You hang yourself.
Okay, my brother. That's what straight talk is all about. You are entitled to your view, whatever the view is. His view is that I made others look good and not Newton or myself look good. But I'm selfless. That's the thing about me, perhaps. Call you live.
Hey, good night, Honorable.
Good night, sir.
How are you tonight, sir?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Nice, man, nice. It's good to hear your voice, my brother.
Good to be here.
And I want to say to you, stay strong as always. You've always been a strong, humble person, and that's a good way to be. Time is longer than twine. Remember that. Time is longer than twine. You see how them five fellas mash up labor now? Anytime that Syrian put a hand on anything, he mash it up. And mashed up, labor mash up right now. Because of those five fellas. They don't realize what they did. They try to spite you. They try to get you out. They're not thinking about the people in East Bastia. What can Jeffrey Hanley do for East Bastia now? What can he do? How are he going to get his projects them done? You know, they never think about those things. They thought about being personal with you. They get it work, but time longer than twine. Things is going to change. You go by the law will see you through. And I will hope that the Attorney General stop moving like molasses now. And this is time for the Attorney General to step up and do what he has to do. There ain't no more friendship when it comes to government. No friendship at all. You do wrong, you should suffer the wrong. You should be punished. And that's the way the Attorney General should move. Not that, oh, we don't want to do that, we didn't go in to do that. Man, you think Dougie would be talking that kind of talk? He wouldn't have been talking that way. They mash up labor, they mash it up now. Let me see what they're going to do. Now, I would like to hear what Congress and Dr. Joe and all them young fellas there have to say now. Are they going to make a move and ask Denzel Douglas to remove himself from the leadership of the Labour Party? We want to see that. Look at Congress. Congress out of a job. Marcelo out of a job. You know, the West fellas out of a job. Just because of one person. And he know that nobody wanted him there. He know that nobody wanted him and he did not remove himself. And these five fellas came and destroyed the Labour Party. Destroy it. What Sam can do? What Sam is going to do now? Where is he going to go? Is he going to be the governor? Is he going to go back as an ambassador? What is he going to do? How he feel tonight? How the other one feel? How Dwyer Stefan feel? How Chesley Hamilton feel? How Big Life feel? How Watley feel? Now the Labour Party has been destroyed.
Caller.
And that's all I got to say, my brother. Stay strong. God is with you, my brother.
Caller, I just recognize the voice, okay? Lynn Ward.
Yes, sir.
Linwald Thomas. But two things. What projects did Jeffrey advance for East Bastia? That's one. And don't you think the names you mentioned, those guys, they cannot survive without government. They need a government to survive. So that they couldn't survive under team unity, because you referred to as the Syrian. I always said he wanted to rape the funds. He wanted to rape the funds, or rape as Casper of some $5 million. And the other one wanted other things. I mean, they for years they have survived as a part of the government, whether in the Labour government, right, or trying now to survive. They couldn't survive under a team unity, so they went back to Labour. So don't you think that is the issue? Some people just need government to survive.
Well, yeah, I will say that because we thought that Ambassador Sam Kondo was just gonna fade out and become one that people can look up to and say, well, okay, he have served 20, 25 years as a politician, and we appreciate what he did. But when you look back to what he did in his constituency, you name 5 projects or 6 projects that he have done in his constituency for 20 years. If you can name 5 or 6 projects that he have done, then you name plenty. Now, let's look at the other fellow. How many projects he have done within the years that he was in government in the McKnight area or Central? One of them you can call is the stadium, and he got some houses built. The same thing with Conda. He got some houses built up in the west. But you know, when you're going to turn your back on the people in the west, and say that, well, you live in number one, and you're going to work in number one, and you're going to vote in number one. What are you telling the people in constituency number 3 that you ran in for years, and they supported you as a Labour candidate? What are you telling them? When I listened to a fellow from down in that constituency, I think it was last week Wednesday or so, on Ambassador Michael Powell's show. This guy outlined everything about Sam Kondo and that constituency. I expected Congress was going to lose because the young lady was on the ground, all the time on the ground. She was making her rounds. She was touching base with people and things like that. You were making your rounds also. You were doing what you have to do. But it was a conspiracy against you. A conspiracy against you and the Prime Minister. They target you and the Prime Minister. Okay? Now, those people who did not vote for you, it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. They probably come to you several times for you to assist them in certain things, and you couldn't assist them in certain things. And they decide, well, okay, you know, I don't want patches there now. They didn't look at the projects that you did. They didn't look at the things that you did for the government, for the people of this nation. When you really look back over the years, the past 10, 15, 20 years, no minister, I can say, within that period of time have done what you have done for this federation in 5 years. And that's because of the work that you put in, the knowledge that you had about doing things, and the relationship that you had with the government itself. You know, but time longer than twine. And I can see you back there. And let me just say this. For those of you out there who think that you have to be a parliamentary member or constituency representative in the House to sit down in Parliament to be part of a government, you don't have to do that. You can be part of a government and still not in Parliament. And you can be just as effective as a minister. Am I right or wrong, sir?
Listen, my brother, but thanks for the input. Thanks for the yeah, you're right. You're perfectly right. I'm not dodging the question, but thanks for your input, and thanks for your wise counsel as usual.
And I wish you all the best. And I know you're going to be around for the people of East Bastille. No matter what it is, you're going to be there for them. And they will find out and they will see the difference between Ian Patches Liburd and Jeffrey Hanley. What are you going to go into Parliament and say? What is he going to say?
Okay, I got you, my brother.
He going to say your leadership? That's what he's going to say?
Yes.
Well, we'll wait to hear about your leadership.
Okay, my brother.
Take care, my brother.
Thanks a lot, And, really, when you speak about Astafan and Condor, in particular Condor, I never made mention of them, and I won't add credence to them by making mention of them, because one of the approaches I took was when they go low, I say hi, because I could have come here and read the content of diplomatic notes that came from the United States of America, the embassy in Bridgetown. I mean, when he was denied his visit for years, it took Timothy Harris to really literally beg. And I remember that ambassador from Barbados, when Sam for years was denied a U.S. visit. But caller, I won't go there. That's the past. They're not worthy of mention. That's what I will say. When many people come to me and ask me, why are you allowing them to do this? When they went low, I stayed high. Caller, you live.
Good evening, Honorable Patches Liburd. This is Matron Garnett.
How are you, Matron? Always good to hear you.
Yes. The Lord bless you.
Thank you.
I just call you to tell you, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, and that no weapon that is formed against you will prosper. And every tongue that rises up in judgment against you, God will condemn. You have done a great work, right? And I know your heart is with your people. You did not go in there for money, because if you did, you would not have given half of your salary. Your heart has been with the people, and you have received a blessing from God. And he will continue to shower his blessings upon you. I congratulate you for all the work that you have done. I haven't been to St. Kitts to see them physically, but I've seen them on the television and so on. And every time I see them, I said, God bless you. And I know many people are saying, God bless you. And those whom God blesses, no man curse. I thank you for what you have done. I am not living there. I only come and go. But I am so pleased and happy for the work that you have done. And I congratulate you. And you also helped to get the Team Unity government back into power by the grace of God and by the prayers. Patches, I'm praying for you. And we are more than conquerors through Christ Jesus our Lord. And I know that you're a godly fearing man, because every time that you go up there to speak, the first thing you said that you're giving God, the Lord God Almighty, thanks. And he loves a thankful heart, and you always give him thanks for keeping you and for placing you there, and he has placed you there for a purpose. So may the Lord God bless you, and thank him for all the prayers that are going up. When I heard this lady say that even on her toilet when she's there, she prays for you. And we know that many prayers are going up. And God is our deliverer. He never leaves us. He never forsakes us. And so you be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, and God will see you through. I want to thank Culture and Mr. Politics and all those who used to call in and encourage and give a word of encouragement for Team Unity and for other people too that their eyes would open to see, their ears were open to hear, and their hearts were open, so that we had a peaceful and a fruitful election. And we give God all the praise, the glory and the honor, and we do not fear what men will do unto us. God bless you, Patches.
Bless you as well, and thanks for the kind words, Matron, and I wish you well as well, and good health all the time. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Ian Patches Liburd, greetings, my brother.
Greetings, the reciprocal, I should say, my dear brother.
And how are you, man?
I am peaceful. I'm peaceful in spite of everything else.
I can feel the vibes.
Yes, how are you?
It's always good to be peaceful. I'm good. Very good. I must say, very good to see how the elections went. It's like we didn't have an election. That's how managed the country is managed, you know. And that is very good in the sight of God. And it's good the people went out and showed the God who they worship and who they praise. That whatever he offers, whatever he provides, they can find a way to create ideas to build what the Lord provides. And I congratulate the administration. For the past 5 years, they show that they are the only administration that can provide reform for the Federation. They didn't get everything right, but they show that they have the effort and they will spare the time to show reform for the people democracy. And that is good, Mr. Patches. It's good to see you show yourself tonight on this program. That is good because you've been a backbone of the struggle, despite the criticism from the odds. You know, because it is true that the concept of democracy is universally accepted. It is, however, no less that true to say that there are as many types of democracy as there are nations in the world, Mr. Patches. And when I listen with commentaries and wording from the past election, and you hear some of the guys who express themselves, you know, and when we ask ourselves about the black man struggle, and here's some of them who telling you, you know, they went all Marriott earlier this year to a treaty or whatever it was, and they see no changes in the Labour Party. But yet, even though they say they're talking for those who can't talk for themselves, they see no changes, but they're still telling you, go back to that view. They are not seeing no changes. I mean, what kind of democracy could you provide for your people? If there is no reform and you're sending back your people into that kind of democracy, you're just rotating your people. There's no liberation. You're not showing your people no liberation. Steel Pulse have a song. Liberation through democracy. One God, one aim, one destiny. We have to do things to strive to liberate our people. We can't do things for the sake of say, well, we're doing it for doing its sake. We got to see what we're doing because we are an independent country and we are charting our own affairs. And it's good, brother, to see that the Lord provide an administration for the people and is working within the freedom. And I pray that the administration continue to put reforms. Someone earlier talked about the Attorney General. I agree with the person. He used to play football, so he know sometimes he got to train his body, so some of the weight what he have on his body. He got to ease off some weight that his mind could be a little more light because he got to put the remuneration process early in the first in this second term because he had promised us gone, but we didn't see it happen. We can't say he was sleeping because we see that particular area he did things with the telecommunication, etc., etc. So, but constitutional reform, this is what people are going to be looking for the administration this term. So they got to be hands-on and hands up and stay firm, stay positive, stay trusting in God, and don't give up the people. Mr. Patrick is just as strong. Whatever the outcome is one thing. You already make landmark history in this country. No one can doubt what you have done. So you have nothing to be discouraged about. You stay strong. Jah guide.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Jah guide as well. At 28 after the 9 o'clock hour, and just for those who are first timers, Straight Talk comes to this radio station and others simultaneously on Sugar City FM St. Kitts, and we are here from 8 to 10 on Mondays and Thursdays. There was a sabbatical because of the elections, but we are back. Good evening, Patches. Reads this email. We, the people in East Bastia, are very distraught that they refuse to give you your seat. Majority in the East voted for you, and that speaks a lot. That should mean something for us. We want to take back the cape back on your shoulders, beg your pardon. I am ecstatic for team unity, but more so when they give you your winning seat. I thought people were wolves in sheep's clothing, but I understand the situation more so now. Patches, do not give up one bit, because we want you back. We want back the victory, I should say, in the East. Sincerely, a warrior from the East reads this email. Other email writes, another thing, Patches, the campaign team should have done a better job. It's not about giving out food stimulus packages, but being cautious. Visiting everybody and talking, beg your pardon, to all. You never know how many Labour persons we could make vote unity just by a good campaigning team. When talking about if unity is supposed to win all the seats, yes, because Labour had once all 8. So, the question is asked, and this other message reads, Patches, good evening and congratulations to the entire team unity. You all deserve that massive victory. I am hoping for the best for you, and I know that the truth will prevail. Dougie, after all the licks he got, does not seem to be prepared to give up. He's like a drowning man clutching at a straw. But the truth is he has drowned and is still clutching the straw. Labour needs to get rid of virtually all of the candidates that ran for various reasons. Maybe 2 or 3 should remain. And that doesn't include Dougie, Conris, or Marcella. Finally, to those lawyers and their friends who wasted a lot of time on radio chatting nonsense day after day, I think you should get some proper counseling from someone who could drill some sense into your heads. Read this email at 9:30. Call you live. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Sorry, Patches?
Sir.
Hello, Patches?
My lord.
Yes, man. I never planned to come back, but I had to come back here. First, let me say good evening, the warrior, international prayer warrior, Nurse Garnet, because you always make your voice be heard. And all the silent prayer warriors around the world, Connecticut, go down to Melvina, come down to St. Croix, all the women them around the world who pray for you, Team Unity, you all are soldiers. Thank God for you all. Patrick, I want to know now, what is going to happen to that Gulf Coast down La Valley with the grass them hoylock, the cane for cattle? What going to happen to that $38 million deal contract that was signed by the Arab who believe he could bring down the government? You and the Prime Minister and the government on radio believe he more powerful than anybody else. He believe he could talk and convince more people than than anybody else. Let he come on the radio and talk about the $38 million, what he signed down there. Because he was responsible for the the Frigate Bay Golf Course Corporation. And on behalf of the Golf Course, his signature down there for that piece of land. We want to know what's going to happen. It is time, whosoever ministry that is in, deal with the situation there. And others, where they got the money, where they tie up the money, where they got the government money tie up, government property, and the signature to it. All of them come away, they come talk. A bunch of losers, good for nothing. 5 blind mice. 5 blind mice. Look how they talk, look how they run. Look how they run. Douglas said all of them come and suck out labor breasts. And he called the name. He said when they don't suck out labor breasts, they're gone. They're gone. And one of them said Douglas is a green man. You know what he mean by green man? When people drink rum and the rum take over the senses, they start to see spooks. And they're in the yard and they're telling you, move out the water, move agata gear and all. Them is what we call green man. Let it clean out the cabinet before and take it off and take the text off of you. Go in your cabinet, man. You got dirty lines in your cabinet. Patches has done good. The Prime Minister is doing well. The best Prime Minister you all. The best Prime Minister is Dr. Timothy Sylvester. Good Samaritan Harris. That's what he is. No government in the world ever perform like this unity government. Thank God for people like Brother Mark Brantley and Mr. Emery and all the cabinet the people of cabinet in Nevis and down here. Patrick, have a good night. Thank you.
Have a good night as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good night as well, my dear brother. You asked the question, what will happen? And you referred to the former minister who went back to eat his vomit. But I don't think we'll get any response whatsoever, because his only response, rather, I should take that back. He gave us a response before, and this is what he said.
Apparently, he wants me to explain to the nation why I, as a minister, signed an agreement. Well, it seems as though he wants me to explain why I signed. I'm told that he said he's not accusing anybody of bubble, but that he was just asking, where's the money? That's what I'm told, right? And I don't remember. But let me say what I have to say. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Well, he can't say it didn't happen, because on Straight Talk, we talk the truth. We don't fabricate. There's no fake news here on Straight Talk. We bring the facts. Sometimes, for the sake of protecting some people, we don't tell you certain things because you wouldn't believe it, and we don't want to get down there. Patches, please explain the difference between spoiled and rejected ballots. Ask this email. And that's a good question. I believe that the spoiled ballots are the ones that do not go into the box. For example, if you go to the polling station or the polling booth and you made a mistake on your ballot, you can ask for another one. It is then marked and put aside, or put it somewhere aside in some envelope and marked eventually, and you're given another ballot. A rejected ballot is one which cannot be counted, cannot be counted because of some improper marking. Like in some cases we hear that if you put a tick in your box, they consider it rejected. But in fact, so that's the difference between a spoiled ballot cannot go into the box. You are given a replacement ballot, so to speak, but a rejected ballot, it also cannot be counted due to improper markings. I believe that's the term that's used. But let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Hi. Patches.
You could turn your radio down, please.
Yeah, the radio off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these guys was up and down on radio because he had a barking dog also in number 4. Every morning around 8 o'clock, disturbing the neighborhood, barking. But people got to understand that this election, nobody was listening to propaganda. They was looking at progress. And that's the difference between the two things, propaganda and progress. because propaganda ain't going to take you nowhere. It only leaves you to speculate. But progress, when you actually see it and you could feel it, that's where people wanted, and that is why people voted so overwhelmed for the Team Unity government. Because if they were studying propaganda, today the Labour Party would have been in power. But like you said earlier, and other callers said earlier, that half of them have to depend on a government to live, because the same barking dog here in Old Road, he should know, that dog should know how many times it has eaten out of Mr. Grant's dog food. And on numerous occasions, that very same dog eat out of Mr. Grant's dog food. The same dog even wants to eat out of my dog food. And to this date, that dog hates me because he cannot get to ride on my back. Look how he wants to ride on every other dog's back. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. After a moment, I was wondering if it was a Doberman or a Rottweiler, or which dog, and then you stumped me when you said he. How he could be a dog. Patches, this election should have taught the Kunumunus a big lesson. In spite of what they think, they can't sway no voters, and they are nothing more than a bunch of greedy Kunumunus, reads this email. At 22 before 10, caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Hello, good night.
Good night, sir.
Is this the Patches program?
Yes, it is. You just turn your radio down so the whole world can hear you.
Well, my radio is actually off.
Thank you very much.
As soon as I got connected, I turned it off.
Thank you. You're so kind.
Yes, thank you very much. So, good night, Patches.
Good night, sir.
And good night to the people of East Bastille. You were my classmate, so you might recognize the voice. But I want to congratulate you on a job well done. I do not usually call into these programs. I cannot even consider myself to be a political activist. But as a teacher by profession, I believe in instructing. And I called because earlier tonight I heard a caller say to you that you were the reason for the situation you are in now, and gave his own reasons. But I thought I would want to share something, especially for the people of East Bastille, but I believe folks from all the constituencies could benefit from this thought that I want to share. There are many people who believe that a politician, a minister of government, was placed in the position to help them personally. And as I have been saying to some people over the past few days, that the role of the minister is not a father who gives child support, but the role of the minister is policy making, governance, strategic management, etc. And one of the things I have admired about you is that you fully embrace the concept of country above self. And so the people of East Bastille, I believe, will need to understand that your role in government in the past 5 years was not so much to satisfy the needs of the people of East Bastille alone, but to meet the needs of the country in general. And so I would just want to use some examples so that people could understand where I'm coming from. Such as you promised the people of East Bastille a bus terminal. And while many of them might own vehicles, some of them do not. And they might want to get to Molyneux or Keon or Sadlers, and so they would have to take a bus. And I'm sure that every time they sit on one of those seats in that terminal, in comfort, no sun beating down on them, no rain beating down on them, and they get a bus there and they go, they are personally benefiting from that. You promised to develop our infrastructure. And when we look at the work you did around the island, on the not only the island main road, but the roads in the various villages. Again, the people of East Bastille, many of them own vehicles. So every time we drive around the country in our vehicles and our tires wear less because of better roads, we are benefiting as individuals. Some people may not recognize that. It's not about you coming to their house and giving them some flour or sugar or milk. You promised to expand our pier. And there is a second pier down there that is not owned by a company in some distant country, but it is owned totally by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so every cent that the government accrues from that project is spent where? On the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, so that the people of East Bastille benefit from it just as much as anybody else. Yes, you promised to do some work at Old Road, and that work is being done. So the point I'm making is that while individual A or B may not have seen you come to their house and pass them a $100 bill, we are all benefiting from the work that you have done. And I think that you deserve a high note of praise for that. The individual was concerned about the fact that you made other ministers look good. Well, isn't that what teamwork is about? And this is why I can appreciate the concept of unity, because since I was small, I learned that there is strength in unity. And I appreciate the fact that the majority of the people of this country not only have understood that concept, but they have embraced it so much so that they said, we want the strength that Team Unity is going to bring to bear on this country. And so I would want to applaud not only yourself for all that you would have done, but for every single individual who worked to make Team Unity the kind of administration we have today. And I would just trust that we would all put ourselves in the position, you and all of the other ministers, put yourselves in the position where you allow the mighty hand of Yahweh to lead in your lives, to lead in your politics. And I know that this country will benefit well from your kind of administration. So thank you very much. Keep heart and continue doing what you're doing, because you're so selfless. And again, the fact that you have given up half of your salary should say to every individual in East Bastille, that half of Patch's salary that he has given up is helping me, because that money is used on projects, I'm sure, that benefits the people of this country. So I just wanted us to look at it from that point of view and not see the fact that, oh, Patches didn't come and give me something personally or give my family something personally. It's not about that. It's about what the minister is doing for the constituency as well as for the wider community. Because even the ministers in Nevis have a responsibility in terms of their portfolios to benefit constituencies in St. Kitts. The ministers of St. Kitts have the responsibility to benefit constituencies in Nevis as well. But that is what Team Unity is about. Thank you very much for listening, and I trust that we will continue to support what is right and good in the sight of our Creator Yahweh. May Yahweh bless you.
Thank you very much. May Yahweh bless you as well. As you said, Titus 2, is it verse 8? Sound speech that cannot be condemned. 14 before 10 o'clock, we go straight back to the lines. Call you live.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, dear.
I wanted to say to you congratulations on a hard-fought political battle. I do not really understand where 98 spoiled ballots came from, but I believe that you guys will be able to work that out pretty soon. I wanted to say that I am truly appalled at some of the rhetoric that I heard on some of the political platforms night after night. I had to say, man to man is so unjust. Patches, we've all heard some of the tearing down of characters. People who have done nothing, who have not taken anybody's money or anything like that. You have a person who have gotten everything that they're supposed to get. And the way that they carry on, it was just appalling. I can understand the character of the one in number 3 because he just appears like that, kind of wicked, kind of, But I didn't expect it for a nice sounding doctor that he should carry on and in that same way. I'm like, what? Where did the sense go? Who is leading who? Who is there to correct somebody? You know, our region is the second most violent region in the world. And there's a reason for that. Because of how our attitude towards one another, the tearing down. I mean, this is wickedness. And I hope that parties will refrain from that kind of thing. It is terrible. It is heartbreaking to see that people would carry on in that kind of way too. I mean, upright citizens, frankly. And night after night, Patches, they did that. About 80%, 80% of the resources were spent in number 4. All the energies were directed at one person. I mean, and he ended up winning in every single box. And, Patches, the rest of the energy went to you, it seems like. What a waste of time. What a waste of energy. What a waste of money that could probably be put to good use, for ordinary citizens. I'm glad that you gave me this opportunity to speak, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my dear. Thanks for your kind words. And they refer to it as the insidious attempts at one's personal destruction. That's what came from the other side. But time will tell. Call your life.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, my dear.
Hi, Patches. How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm doing great. I've been trying to call in and get in. Finally, I got a hold of you.
I'm happy you did.
I don't want to stay too long. I just want to be brief. I just want to let you know you've done a great job for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And keep up the good work. Both me and yourself know that you won your seat, hands down. And again, every time I come home and I drive through the land and see all what you've done for St. Kitts, it breaks me heart. It makes me shed a tear. I mean, you've really done a lot for the country and for the Federation. And again, I just want to big you up. You know what I'm saying? And just be strong. Also, I wanted to give my number off here. I wanted to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
It may just be a little difficult now, but can I give you mine and you contact me? But mine is public number, right?
Okay. Yes, sure, no problem. I'm ready.
It's 662. Of course, you're calling from overseas, so you'll put the 869. But 662.
Yes.
3617. You can get me that number.
3617 662.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Patches. And again, keep up the good work. And I hope that you take this to court and you win your court case.
Yes, I'm certainly doing that. I can assure you.
Okay, and I'm behind you 100%. And, again, just keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks again.
Thanks for the support.
Okay.
Dear. And have yourself a wonderful night. Caller, your live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Good evening, everybody out there in Radio Land. Good evening, everybody out there in Radio Land. Good evening, Servant Minister Ian Patrick Liburd. How are you?
Good evening, my dear brother. I'm peaceful. I haven't heard you for a long time. Are you doing well?
You understand precisely what transpired. You are that close to me. But I will not eclipse the joy and majesty of the moment by introducing the details of my forced separation. When I do, the people will conclude that truth is indeed stranger than fiction. How are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful. God's been good to me, man. God has been good to me.
You're going to always be my minister. I don't care what happens. I want to congratulate Team Unity for a resounding and runaway victory, ensuring them 5 more years. And I want to thank the opposition for being so robust in keeping democracy alive. Team Unity, congratulations all over. Servant Minister Ian Patches Liburd, you know where I spent my hiatus. There were some people who came to see me. My best friend kept me alive, my cherished friend. And so very quickly I got to thank Douglas Watley for still being my friend after all of these years. I love you. I want to thank Mr. Astaphan, my former landlord, Sam Conda, and his lovely wife, Jean, who all but adopted me, Hildred Douglas, Officer Rouse, and Peter Jenkins, whom I adore. To you, I say sincerely, thanks and thanks again. Now, the next time you see any nurse or nurse attendant working in the psychiatric unit, be quick to acknowledge the worth, courage, and contribution of these stellar professionals who give everything that they've got without reservation. Thanks to every one of you. Thanks a million for all of that you do and will continue to do. Finally, Servant Minister Ian Patches Liburd, after learning about your fate, I openly wept unashamedly. We are in mourning at the home. I should tell you we love you. When I wrote you, I say, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And we are rooting for an overturn of this travesty. Now giving back a half of your salary and keeping the populace updated twice weekly for years on the present state of our political affairs should have been enough to get you over the line. I would never understand the vagaries of human nature. An alien visiting us, looking at the massive, expensive, and almost comprehensive infrastructure that you bequeath to the nation, can be forgiven for thinking that we had recently experienced a visitation from a boon bringer straight from heaven. We have what you have done, what you have constructed. When we look at them, their mute presence speaks a language more eloquent than tongue or pen can tell. My feeble attempts to encapsulate in words the breadth and scope of your visionary work reminds me of that Indian avatar Rumi who said the language of God is silence. Everything else is poor interpretation. Okay. Sir, Minister Ian Patches Liburd, forgive my poor interpretation tonight. Kudos to you. We love you. And of this, you can have absolutely no doubt. As the last caller said, every last one of us are rooting for you. 100%. Good evening, folks. I love every one of you as well. And by the way, I miss you. One is never so close to another, they say, as when they are forced to be separated. Have a great evening, one and all.
Have a great evening, my dear brother.
Say for the servant minister, Ian Patton, Liburd, you are the greatest. And I mean that with all my heart.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear brother. Always so eloquent. Patches, Jeffrey is not going to do nothing for me in East Bastia, for I did not vote for him. Now, Patches, a lot of persons who are working for the government don't want unity in government. They're working under unity, but telling people to vote against unity. I saw and heard them clearly. They are putting hate against the citizens also. Greed is what consumes some of the people in St. Kitts, but righteousness exalts a nation. We in the East love you. I love you too, and I can assure you I'll continue working for you. As we wind down tonight's programming, we go straight back to the lines. Caller, you alive. Hello, caller.
I was winding down on me. Good night.
How are you? Is this Alice in Wonderland?
You know them. They don't know you. The five wolf and dog eat the supper. They feel they got you, but God be with you. Mr. Liburd, don't study them about Elimat. It's not about you. It's what you do. You will get there, and you don't want none of them around you. I could call names who say you give them job, but they're not voting for you. How the rest feel today, gone to work and don't want the government. Pew saw on Friday to get out the same government. Shame on them. Government offices want to shut down and spray out. Some of the preachers have no shame either. I call on Chico for you on Friday and yesterday to wish you all the best because I was so tense. Couldn't even go to church. You see how tense I be about you. God be with you, with everybody who praying. And to my wonderful Prime Minister for a second term. Trough-man and grandfather, all the Friday up and down town, but they get a shock. The old story finished. Let them find something else. 5 more years. Harris again. Good night.
Harris again. Thank you.
Night.
Good night, my dear friend and supporter. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. It's just about 10 o'clock. I'm going to take a few more calls and wind down. Caller, you're live.
Good evening from New York, Mr. Ian Patches. This is Avril.
Avril how are you, Avril? How art thou?
Well, I am doing great. And listen, I'm here looking at you on the computer. And I'm seeing you have 300 following, 600 and something. If you total all that together, you should be the Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled, my dear.
Listen, man, let me tell you something. With 2020 and the way everything is going, nothing that happened in this year is a mystery to God. There is something that lies ahead that we don't see. Keep the faith, keep doing what you're doing. And remember where you're sitting at right now. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to hear so much about what's going on in St. Kitts. Follow your calling and your life and keep doing what you're doing. Don't look back, keep moving forward. God bless.
Thank you very much. Avril, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. Caller, you're live. Thanks for that call, Avril from New York. Very positive, persuasive voice on the radio as well. Caller, you're live.
Patches.
So,
I wonder if the Operation Rescue will still got a program to bring down the country. Because as far as I'm concerned, they never trying to bring down the government. They bring down the country and back talking the country and saying all kind of negative things because of what they ain't get. And Douglas Watley and others who try to, and Chesley Hamilton and all those who try to bring down the country because of what they ain't get. Patches, let me tell you something. Even Mr. Sam Kanda joined them in the late. And I so disappointed with Mr. Sam Kanda up to now. Because this young lady has come and when she see convincingly for the first time after 70-something years, Mr. Sam Kanda was here serving his constituency. And I tell you, Patty, some people just lucky. Some people just lucky. Because I hear people in the constituency abuse him, say all kind of negative thing about him that he ain't representing. And he ain't coming and saying nothing. But Patches, people were just voting for Labour. But with this young lady come in and campaign and go through the constituencies them and get the people them involved and win the seat, I believe that's a great achievement to her, and she will do it for her. Because the way I hear, when I listen to Mr. Sam Kanda, who represents this constituency so long, and the people them vote for him, and Tony Back said that he living in number one now. And I think that he was the one supposed to come as a family member of this young lady and trying to endorse this young lady. But follow people like Mr. Dwyer Stefan, you understand, who have no love for the country and no love for the people.
Okay, my brother.
You understand? But you have a wonderful night. God bless. He really disappointed me.
Thank you very much. We're going to wind down tonight's programming. Perhaps it'll take 2 more calls and wrap up. Call of your life.
Yes, good evening, me again, Calvert. Last election, I blame the man where I took the vote there, and I came a court. But how come this man I leave this man, and I afraid him, so I never go to court with him. But what is for you is for you, and what is for you ain't for you. So give us a chance. Give just me a chance. And you take care. Leave it in the hands of God. See you. Love you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, all right. Thank you. This email reads, "Good night, Patches. There's no doubt you've done a commendable job as Minister of Infrastructure. While as a newly certified young engineer, I disagree with the design and execution of certain projects. Your completed initiatives as the Ministry of Infrastructure is what is this saying? I think you should be saying you have completed initiatives as Minister of Infrastructure is applaudable regardless. However, my question for you is, if you don't retain your position as Minister of Infrastructure, who do you think is a viable candidate to take up the mantle of such a position? Also, what are your thoughts in regards to making sustainability and resilience a pivotal mandate throughout our infrastructure? Also, don't you think it's time to incorporate young engineers like myself who have new ideas into the footwork of our infrastructure development? Read this email. Yes, I believe we should incorporate young engineers. They have their own, if you're going to build a stronger, safer future, yes, I'll respond to that. In terms of a viable candidate, I think all of them are viable, and no one is indispensable. And my thoughts with regards to sustainability and resilience, pivotal mandate, yes, I believe we can build resilience. That's what we're doing across Old Road Bay in terms of that infrastructure. We can build resilience in terms of our water, because in this climate era of climate variability, I think we can go reverse osmosis or desalination, and we also can build resilience in terms of our electricity by going underground with those cables. Those are some of the views that's come to mind. But I'll make this my final call for the night. Call, are you live?
Yeah, good night, Mr. Liburd. This is Boris here, man.
Good night, Boris.
Let me say congrats to you still, man. And just continue to stay strong, and continue to move ahead, man. Like you say, like your song say, you keep moving on.
Yes, yes, my brother.
You keep moving on. So all of those persons who think they had you down, when they really moved the rag or the sheet, you wasn't there. You was ahead of them. So, so just continue to do what you're doing and stay strong, man. Because they take one, but we gain 2 or 3 more. So unity is still there. So with unity there, you're still there. So just continue to stay strong, continue to pray, man, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks again.
Thank you, my dear brother, and we all will stay strong, and because we have to build a stronger, safer future on the team unity, and that's the way I'm going to end it for tonight, because my time is done and I got to run. And for those of you who are wondering, I sought to improve since 2013. What I saw was wrong in politics. Just like I saw you, just like you want to change as well. Since that first day being elected, I have not stopped working for you. You know me, and I know you. And regardless of what this outcome holds for me and you, I will not stop working and fighting as I was born in East Bassett. I never gave up East Bassett. I never left you in East Bassett. I never turned my back on East Bassett. And I will always be a Newtown man. And for several years, I worked in the private sector. I purchased a home that I currently reside in Bird Rock, not in the hills, or not in the mountains, or private gated community. I'm your neighbor. You know where I live, you know me, and I know you. They tried to take away my voice, but I will shout for you. They tried to take away my seat, but I will stand for you, my Straight Dog family, and for those in East Bastille in particular. I want to thank you for the support, and I will remain strong. I'll be guided and heeded. I'll heed your advice, and believe me, I am not going anyplace. But I want to just thank you and thank Almighty God, I should first say, for guiding our conversation tonight. And as always, I want to thank you, the many callers. I want to thank you, those who sent emails, those of you on the Facebook Massive as well. I want to thank you, whichever social media, whichever media platform you use. I want to thank you. Thank Sugar City, FM St. Kitts, and Valty. I want to thank the staff and management of ZIZ Radio, the engineers, Bevin, Terrell, and others. Without them, there's no Straight Talk. So I want to say a big thank you. Remember, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Until we connect on Thursday, we'll have another edition of Straight Talk. I want to say, enjoy what's left. The best of what's left of tonight. Beyond the curfew again. But just be safe. Just be healthy. And remember, with your team, Unity Government, we will continue to transform this country. We will continue to build a stronger, safer future. Bye-bye. Until we connect again on Thursday. My Straight Talk family. Keep moving on.
When I wake in the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceive, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, to the Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep, and my guide, over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceive, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow.